Forecast helps team managers easily and quickly schedule their team across projects and tasks and analyze their capacity. Because Forecast is web-based, there's no software to install, and you can use it from any up-to-date browser with an internet connection. In this video, you'll see how to create and edit assignments in Forecast, how to filter the schedule and analyze your team's time, as well as how to connect your Harvest account and use the Harvest and Forecast integration. The Forecast schedule gives you a calendar view of who's working on what, when. This is where you'll spend the majority of your time in Forecast. There are two ways to view the schedule: the Projects view and the Team view. Let's start in the Projects view. Here, you'll see a list of projects on the left. While looking at the Day view of the schedule, you can zoom out to see more days, or zoom in to see fewer days at once. You can switch to view the schedule by week or month. And you can scroll through to see previous assignments and assignments scheduled in the future. Let's schedule someone from the Projects view. Expand the project to open it up. You'll see a list of teammates who are currently scheduled to work on the project, along with the project's existing assignments. If your Forecast account is integrated with Harvest, teammates can also be scheduled to tasks on connected Harvest projects. Forecast lets you clearly visualize your team's schedule, which makes creating assignments for projects easy and intuitive. Assignments are added in hours per day, week, or month, depending on the view you're using. For now, let's use the Day view. To add a new assignment to a project, select a teammate's name from the drop-down. Then enter the start and end dates for the assignment, along with the hours per day, or hours per week or month in other views. The total hours field will automatically be calculated based on the dates and hours per period that you enter. For projects connected to Harvest, you can also choose a specific task that the person will work on. Save the assignment, and it'll be added to the schedule. You can also edit an assignment directly from the schedule. To shift an individual assignment to a different time frame, click and drag it backward or forward. To make the assignment shorter or longer, click and drag the ends. You can also split an assignment in two. Hover over one of the date boundaries, click, and confirm the split. You can then move either part. To make additional edits, you can bring up the edit form again by clicking on the assignment. Here, you can edit the assignment's dates, hours per day, week, or month, total hours, notes, person, task, and repetition settings. You can also copy or delete an assignment from here. Repeating assignments are great for setting up recurring commitments. For example, if someone needs to work on a project for 8 hours every Friday for the next 6 weeks, you can set that as a repeating assignment instead of manually creating each one. To create a repeating assignment, check Repeat Weekly. Using our example, let's have it repeat for 6 weeks. We'll then see 6 assignments added to the schedule. And if you ever need to edit a repeating assignment, you can choose to edit just one or all future assignments in the series. To make changes to all of a project's assignments in bulk, you can shift the entire timeline backward or forward. To shift the project timeline, click the project's Actions drop-down and select Shift Timeline. Choose the old and new dates, then click Shift Timeline. The Time Off project allows you to schedule time off assignments for vacation days, holidays, sick days, or any other time out of the office. You can assign time off on a company-wide or per-person basis. Let's say there's a national holiday coming up on Friday. Creating a time off assignment for everyone will schedule the whole team at once. Or you can choose an individual teammate, just like for a normal project assignment. Time off assignments will filter down into the rest of the schedule, which allows you to quickly see who's available and who's been scheduled for time off. Next, let's take a look at using milestones in Forecast. Milestones track significant points in your project that help keep it on schedule. These can include important meetings, starts of phases, or completion dates. To add a milestone, hover over a project's assignment bar to the right of its name. Add Milestone will appear underneath your cursor. Click on it, name the milestone, and save. The milestone will then remain on the project's overall assignment bar, which makes it easy to see on the schedule at a glance. And if you ever need to shift the timeline, those milestones will also be shifted. Now that we've created and edited some assignments, let's take a look at filtering the schedule. Filtering allows you to hide the information you don't need and surface the data you want to focus on. You can filter the projects view by clients, people, projects, project codes, color labels, and/or project tags. You'll want to set up project color labels and tags to get the most out of filtering the projects view. You can assign color labels and tags when creating or editing a project. Each project in Forecast can be assigned one of 8 colors, and each color can be given any meaning you'd like. For example, your colors can be used to show the current status of a project, or they could relate to specific managers or departments. Similarly, each project in Forecast can be assigned any number of custom project tags. These can indicate the project owner, phase, type of project, or anything that can make filtering the schedule easier for your team. You can filter the schedule using the search bar. Let's say we only want to see our orange projects labeled with the tag NYC. We can type Orange NYC into the search. Then only the projects that are both orange and tagged NYC will appear. To include results across both parameters, you can add OR between each tag. For example, orange or NYC. Next, let's take a look at future scheduled hours on the projects view. Click the clock icon to toggle the Future Scheduled Hours column. Future scheduled hours are the number of hours scheduled on a project from the current date through the last assignment. Future scheduled hours will update in real time as you add and remove assignments from your projects, always keeping the team up to date on how many hours are left to work on the project, both overall and on a per-person basis. If your Forecast account is integrated with your Harvest account, remaining hourly budgets from your Harvest projects will be displayed below the future scheduled hours number. With this information, you'll be able to quickly see where you stand with your current plan for the remainder of the project and make adjustments where needed. For example, if you notice that you have more future scheduled hours assigned than you have remaining in your budget, this may be an indicator that you need to take another look at your Forecast schedule. Now that we've gone over the projects view, let's move on to another aspect of our schedule, the team view. The team view is a color-coded display of each person's workload, availability, overbookings, and time off. We call this the heat map. You can view the heat map by daily, weekly, or monthly availability, and weekly or monthly capacity, depending on which view you use. Each teammate's hours per week capacity, along with their scheduled hours, are used in this heat map to display their availability. You can change the default capacity for everyone in the account under Settings. Or you can customize it on a per-person basis by editing a person's profile. There, you can also change which days of the week they're available to work. This person has a capacity of 35 hours per week. When we look at the daily availability heat map, we can see they're going over their daily availability by 2 hours on Wednesday, and have a day off scheduled on Friday. Next, let's take a look at that same information displayed in weekly capacity. This view shows you the total number of hours a person has booked for a given week. It also shows you a capacity percentage, the person's total scheduled hours for that week divided by their total capacity. Now in their schedule, we can see they're booked for 30 hours, plus 7 hours off, which is 106% of their weekly capacity. So we may want to make an adjustment. Let's explore filtering the team view. You can filter the team view by people, placeholders, and/or roles. Each person in Forecast can be assigned any number of roles within their profile. We recommend adding roles for a person's skill set, team, department, or anything that will make filtering the schedule helpful. Filtering by roles especially comes in handy when you're using placeholders in your account. A placeholder aligns with a role you regularly need filled on your projects, and they're used when you're not sure who will fill those slots yet. For example, if you often need designers on your projects, you can name a placeholder Designer and add it to the designer role. Then when you filter your team schedule to see anyone with the designer role, you'll see the placeholders along with your other designer teammates. This allows you to quickly see who's available, and you can reassign the placeholders' assignments to an actual teammate. That wraps up the schedule in Forecast. Now, let's check out the Forecast and Harvest integration. Harvest is a time tracking and invoicing tool that helps teams analyze their time and get paid. Connecting your Harvest and Forecast accounts will give you even more powerful insight into the health and status of your projects by comparing estimates versus actuals. You can connect your accounts through either Harvest or Forecast. Once your Forecast account is connected to Harvest, you can import and link your projects, people, and clients from Harvest. To do that, click the Import from Harvest button. Check off which projects you'd like to import, then click the green Import button. Next, select any people you'd like to import. This will link their profiles between Harvest and Forecast. We recommend only importing the projects and people you're actively scheduling. You can always import additional people and projects later as needed. After you import your data from Harvest, you'll be able to analyze project health and compare the estimates versus actuals for your linked projects. You can head straight to Harvest by clicking the H icon next to a project's name on the project schedule. Doing so will open up its project page in Harvest. To analyze project health, the project progress graph will show not only how many hours you've tracked to your project to date, but also when your future hours are scheduled and when you'll reach your budget. To compare estimates versus actuals, you can start with the hours per week graph. Tracked hours from Harvest appear in black, and estimated hours from Forecast appear in gray. This allows you to see trends at a glance, as well as get a sense of when you're on track and where you may need to make adjustments. You can also look at the Team tab to see the hours tracked by each team member, the hours scheduled in Forecast, and the difference between the two. By default, you'll see a view of the lifetime of the project, but you can always change the time frame as needed. Whether used alone or with Harvest, Forecast is a powerful tool to align your team's schedules, ensure projects are supported, and your team's workloads are well balanced. For more information, check out our Help Center or reach out to our support team.